Hi and welcome to the Wisdom Chambers Youth Review.
How are you doing?
Oh, well, Luke, how are you?
Good, mate, good, mate.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm good tonight.
What's that you're holding there?
I have to mention to everybody who's watching tonight that come this Sunday, South Sydney Festival will be on. Just have a look at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we've got a shot of that. It's going to be on at Redfern Park on this Sunday. Now, if you get there before 10:30, I'm told that you'll be given lots of free coffee and pastries and so on. So it's well worth watching. There's lots of events on during the day, lots of activities and, you know, things that you would expect from a festival. Christina New is playing, it says here, between 6:15 and 7 o'clock. So that should be, you know, well worth watching. Her highly successful album, Styling Up. So, you know, she's off from that, and lots of things happening. But you can't go.
I can't go, I'm busy. But it sounds fantastic. You can meet the police. That would be the...
it says kids meet the police.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to meet a copper.
Well,
I did actually.
Actually, I kind of think that, you know, a lot of Redfernians would meet the police, wouldn't they?
Probably,
I mean,
right?
It'll probably be, you know,
They're going to go up and see you, man, I know you.
A big reunion for them all.
Yeah.
I figure.
Yeah.
What else is going on? We might as well.
Yeah.
Melanie Oxley and Chris Abrahams are also playing together. That's from 5:20 to 5:50. So if you're into them,
there's lots of stuff going on.
It's quite a few bands, I assume. I assume these are all bands.
I think these are
Paris
all bands.
Dumper, Chain of Hearts, Kalamazoo, Utungan Percussion, Eva Trout, yeah, and so on and so forth.
What's this other funky things? Here we go. Okay, the Untouchables bring an energetic, playful and spontaneous edge to dance, mime and clowning as they juggle their way through the park between 11:30 and 1. So there's going to be quite
a long juggling.
Yeah. It is.
Juggling act,
that sounds good though, you know. Be going off on Sunday at Redfern Park.
Unfortunately, there will be no expensive jumping castles at this celebration.
Oh damn, I'm out. I'm not going.
But the pony rides are free. It's a good balance, that one. Anyway, so
yeah,
that's on.
That.
So if you've got nothing better to do this weekend,
we go.
on Sunday,
one last look.
South Sydney celebrates. What does it celebrate?
Okay.
What are they celebrating?
It's actually
well, I just
probably has directions.
You can't actually read that.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Read that, but Redfern
right
Park
down here is the direction to Redfern Park, off Redfern Street, as it turns out, which is just fairly novel. Anyway, so it's not too far from Redfern Station.
That'll be good.
So don't forget that. But tonight's show,
getting onto that, yeah.
Yeah, tonight's
edited show.
Our edited show. We've cut together the best bits. Not exactly. We've cut together some of the bits from our previous shows. Well, not exactly our previous shows, but us.
Segments.
We've cut together segments that have appeared in previous shows. There you go. That's more like the honest
So this
truth.
is all like pre-recorded and stuff.
Well,
no.
Yeah. Anyway.
So what's coming up after?
So what's coming up?
Under the Microscope with myself, Don, and Vanessa. We'll be talking about beauty in the 90s and the extremes that people are going to make themselves look
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. The Venus de Milo of our era.
And after that?
My video review. I'll be reviewing 2 really, really bad films. And so stay tuned for that one.
That's good. You were telling.
Well,
you know, that's a segment.
At least you'll know not to get them out yourself. Put it that way.
Yeah. Everybody's doing video reviews. We were saying anti-reviews.
Yeah, this is an anti-review.
We need to know what's not good.
Yeah, this is true.
Sports show after that with Michael and myself. We'll be talking about you know, what's happening in sport. The big debacle with Mike Tyson. And
it is a debacle. It's an official debacle now.
Yeah, I'd say it would be. We'll talk about that.
All right. Well, we'll get to that, and then Erin should be stepping in for Film Forum.
And he'll be reviewing
with any like at At a guess, we're guessing he's reviewing Pocahontas and
What's Pocahontas?
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas.
It's a new Disney cartoon about an Indian princess and the Spanish conquistador she falls in love with, or something like that. Some brother.
True story.
Is it? Really?
Right.
A true story.
Erin will be giving us an
It sounds rather trite, but
detailed
still.
description of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, and the underneath, and I'm not quite sure what that's
No,
about.
not am I, but looking forward to that. So that's our short show for tonight. Looking forward, to you staying with us and watching us, and we'll be closing after Erin's, so
Yeah. And that will be it.
stay tuned.
Well, stay tuned. Well, yeah, I was just going to read something.
Before we go.
Any regular viewers out there, you might remember the people from Odyssey Genes, but anyone else will just go straight over your head. But I'm going to read you something the Odyssey Genes people left us to read, and I thought I'd read it to you tonight. The unknown beckons, and as you dare to enter realms of the forbidden, you're a vision in motion. Moment dissolves into moment, but you continue, and with every encounter you find that destiny reveals itself. Some wise thoughts for our show tonight. All right. You're watching Wisdom Chambers Youth Review on the 25th of the 8th, 95.
Whoa. Hello. Welcome to Under the Microscope. Tonight we're going to be talking about beauty in the 90s. I mean, how many of us were born to look like this? Yeah, and on a
in
billiard
leopard
table.
skin trousers.
I think
How many
none
of us
of us.
were born into leopard skin trousers?
My point is that I think now in the 90s, more than ever, society is really sort of coming towards this idea of beauty, people wanting to make themselves look extra beautiful. It's sort of more important than anything else. I mean, if you look at advertising, you know, look at all the ads. It's all beautiful women advertising yogurt. People sort of think that, you know, they'll buy this yogurt if a beautiful woman's holding it, you know. And I think beauty in the 90s, people striving to look beautiful, it's can be misleading in a way, and it can lead a lot of people. Not that you shouldn't look beautiful, you know what I'm saying, but
yeah, I mean, what are you suggesting, that we have ugly people in advertising? Just
no, I think we should just be more realistic in the way we sell our goods to the public.
But can people afford to be realistic anymore? Hasn't it got to the stage where people can't afford to be realistic, where they have to have this overblown image, otherwise no one will buy it because everyone else has this overblown image?
Yeah, that's true.
Can you afford to portray real people anymore?
Mm.
Is anything real?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, everybody, I haven't introduced Michael and Dave aren't here at the moment, so I'm here with Don and Vanessa. Please make them feel welcome.
Hello.
Sorry, I didn't introduce you. But, okay, so, I mean, there are a number of things we can talk about, but I'm coming from the point of view that now more than ever, as we said, people are getting, I suppose there are, I don't have statistics, but more people are getting facelifts done. More people, you know, are going to extremes to make themselves look beautiful.
Plastic surgery is definitely becoming more and more accepted.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, all the movie stars now can't get a job if they don't have, say, actors or actresses, enlarged breasts or whatever. Even Nick Nolte had a testicle tuck.
What? Really?
I don't know why.
Jeez, that wasn't shown on camera.
No,
I mean, why would you bother?
Maybe it's his new role or something.
Yeah, porno.
And that's another topic.
How did you know about that?
Oh, well.
Where do you have your sources?
It's more than just TV Week.
But, yeah, but,
honesty.
yeah, breast implants, another thing that's being done by a lot of women. And I've heard of a few silicone implants that have actually burst due to the, like when you're flying on planes and stuff, the pressure actually bursts. So, you know, be quite uncomfortable.
And not just that, but children who are being breastfed are actually getting silicone in the milk.
Ooh.
Stuff like that. It's a pretty
Yucky,
scary
yucky.
thought.
It is scary.
Well, yeah, the actual plastic surgery scare's been around since plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And has anyone died from plastic surgery now?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty safe procedure.
On their tits when they go to sleep.
Yeah. I think it's a safe procedure, but
like that, yeah,
I think that, okay, would you get plastic surgery done?
On my breasts? No.
Or a testicle tuck.
Would you get?
No, I wouldn't get a
Would you get a testicle tuck?
No, I wouldn't. Would you?
I wouldn't need one.
No,
My point
exactly.
No, I mean, I think that, what my point is, I think that's excessive. I don't think people, well, my opinion is that you don't need to go to those extremes to make yourself look beautiful. You should be beautiful for who you are. You shouldn't have to obviously look in the mirror and say, you know, hey, I need to go out there and get a chest implant, or look at your balls and say, hey man, that doesn't look good. I need to do something about that. It's not good. It's not good.
I guess if you're Nick Nolte and you've got all these women after you, and then you hear a rumour that someone says that your testicles are sagging a bit, you know, better get the testicle tuck.
But we all, don't we? We all sort of want to make ourselves, appearance-wise, look as beautiful as we can, correct? I mean, why do women wear makeup?
I'm only wearing makeup because I'm on this
television.
show. I never wear it.
I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah. I mean, I think women look beautiful in makeup. I mean, I like to see a woman as beautiful. I want her to look as beautiful as she can.
Women don't look beautiful?
They still, no, they still look beautiful, but I think they look more beautiful when they have makeup.
Always?
Not always. Too much can be bad, but the right amount I like.
The right amount of makeup.
And is that just because you've been watching too many movies and seen too many glamorous
Has my
women?
belief's been conditioned, perhaps? Maybe. Perhaps. But I just, to my eye, yeah, I believe that. Don, can I ask you about your hair?
Yeah, well,
this happened last week. If we can get a shot of Don's hair as I'm speaking here. Don went out and dyed his hair green, as you probably can all see.
No, we can't.
And I just... Don, do you want to tell us, why
did I do my hair like that?
Yeah.
Why did I dye my hair green? Oh, it's a very good question. The problem is there isn't a very satisfying answer to it. I dyed my hair green because I wanted to dye my hair green because because the people around me said, "Hey, look, we put this green hair dye. You want to dye your hair green?" I said, "Yes."
Peer group pressure.
Oh, not exactly.
No.
Not exactly peer group. Just
Do you
people I
feel that
know.
makes yourself look, so I say, lack of a better word, more beautiful?
No, I think it makes me look worse, if anything.
So why would you want to make yourself look worse?
Because I don't really care, to be honest. But
You don't care the way you look?
well, it's hard to say. I don't particularly care what other people think about the way I
Okay.
look.
So is that why you did it? Oh, well, no, because you
it's
wanted
not
to do
why
it.
I did it.
But
I
that's
did
an
it.
interesting point, what you said then.
I don't think it's. I still have this nagging belief that you know, people's idea of beauty kind of varies from person to person depending on what they've been conditioned to believe is beautiful. You know, therefore us, you know, kind of Western society, we all think, you know, tall and leggy and so on.
Yeah.
Large breasts, etc., is beautiful women and big muscular men.
Yeah. What makes us think that, do you think? Like the
image.
the idea of a beautiful woman. Okay, for yourself, you're a woman. Yeah.
Thank you.
That
very good.
What do you think conditions our belief that women should look, you know, this measurement here, this measurement
Well,
there?
advertising, it's all around us. We can't escape it. You know?
Look there.
Yeah.
Bridget Fonda.
One.
Sylvester Stallone. Well, if you
Yeah.
can call that beautiful.
So the supermodels and the models have an effect
Well, I
on
mean,
a
I
lot
don't
of
even
women?
look at supermodels. I don't look at fashion, nothing like that. But
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, you can't walk out into the street and not have a bus pass you which has got an advertisement, you know, screaming all over it with someone, you know, lying across it. And not just that, but they touch up. I was told today, and also I've seen in other programs of that they take a photograph of a woman and. For an advertisement, and they can change her features, like say instead of having brown eyes, green eyes, and if she's lying sort of across ways, they can stretch her legs out or make her longer, and you know, I mean, and that's just.
But they also cut up people's bodies. They take someone's head and put it on someone else's body. I saw a really good one of Oprah Winfrey where they put her on a model's body. It's really good. You thought it was real until you realised you saw the actual real photos.
Yeah, it's been a lot of talk shows. The idea of we were talking about facelifts before. I saw on Donahue, they had they crossed live to a plastic surgery, where this person was having their facelift. And what they actually do, for those of you who are thinking of getting your face, nose or whatever tucked in or whatever, hopefully not your testes, but what they do, they get a knife and they cut right down here, all right? They lift up your skin and they put this vacuum under there, not like a Hoover or anything, this little tube, and it sucks all the fat out, we were having. Like the audience were having like really, some people were probably throwing up. I even think it was really disgusting, you know, to see someone's face.
Did we discuss this last week about the fat redistribution? You know, once you take it from one place, it appears in another, sort of thing.
Might have.
Did we talk about that last week?
What's the point?
If you take the fat from your bum and you put it in your lips, then you
But the point is, it's a disgusting procedure, and I think that, you know, again, it's on all the talk shows. The idea of, you know, the extremes people go to. Also, I was going to say, we were talking about before the idea of the extremes that girls go to make themselves look beautiful, and
some
anorexia.
guys, I'm sure,
and guys as well, but more so women, because I mean, you don't see supermodels being men these days, and I say that because.
Is there any supermodel men? I don't know. Is there?
Yeah, Fabio, whatever his name is.
Yeah, more so known for the women though. And a lot of girls say, okay, she looks like that, and I want to look like that because that's what's beautiful, and that's what the guys
My point
like.
exactly. Who wants to look like Fabio?
So here you go.
I mean, do you?
No, I look like myself. It's fine. But the extremes that people have gone to, and the results, like anorexia. Do you know anybody? Like
yeah, my sister was anorexic.
I'm sure we all know some anorexics.
Yeah. I mean, it's scary because it just takes over everything that you think, and you know, for years I think still it affects her now. That was about 10 years ago. So
really, that long?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know anything that long.
Well, she wasn't gone. She wasn't that for long. She wasn't for 10 years.
10 years, I know,
but still, I'd say it's still part of her thought process.
Could I ask you how much weight? Like, what weight did she get down to?
I can't remember. She was probably about maybe 35 kilograms.
And did you mention something to her?
No, it was very hush.
Well, like, gee, you're looking thin now.
Yeah. But it'd be very hard to say.
No, I used to eat all the Mars bars, and so it was, and we didn't realise for so long that was the thing until, you know, because I remember also with friends at school, you know, you'd see them so often, and then one day you'd just hit you, and you'd think, shit, she's so skinny, you know.
Yeah.
And by that time it was not too late, but it was, you know, it had really sort of gone pretty deep. So so it's scary. I mean, you know, you've got people it controlling their lives, and it's advertising, and it's the films, movies. I mean, everywhere you look, you've magazines.
If you're fat, the only job you can get is a comedian. I'm thinking about this. In television, I don't know any fat people that are anything but comedians. Is that true?
Yeah.
Roseanne. No,
She's
she's a
supposed to be a
comedian.
comedian.
Oh, Oprah loses and puts on weight overnight.
Yeah, and she only does that so she can have something to talk about next week. So I mean, it's not really relevant.
But
she's just doing it for a show, like us.
It's just, I think, sort of in closing, it's like you were saying, it is in advertising, it's in the film, and I think that, you know, as a society, those industries have a responsibility, not only, you know, just to society in general. But what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say from my point from before, how can they do anything when we're so conditioned to believing that's what we want to see? I mean, if we can't avoid that, then, I mean, no one's going to go and see a film that stars ugly fat people.
No, I know, you're right.
Just because we don't believe it.
Actually, you know what? They had a fashion parade with fat people. Yeah, I saw that on the news. They had fat people wearing lingerie and stuff, and, you know, not a single person was watching.
But, really?
No, yeah, that's a true story.
Because,
yeah.
well, no, that seems like a big arts angle. It's just not, like, it's like we're doing it because it's different. We're not because we're doing it because we believe people should see fat people.
But look in America, right? A lot of the people in America, I mean, I'm not speaking generally, but a lot of people in America are overweight, right? As in Australia. So, advertising, why don't they then appeal to the fat people and make a lot of money?
Well, I assume because the fat people don't want to see themselves. They don't want to have to deal with their own problems.
Yeah.
They want Fantasyland and escapism.
Yeah. Bold, what do they say?
Big is beautiful.
Big is beautiful.
B.I.B.
B.I.B., yeah. So, but I think, you know, whoever you are, you're beautiful. Stay the way you are. Don, keep your hair green.
Thank you, Luke. It's really nice of you.
Anything you want to say?
Well, it's just, I don't know, is there a way to deal with this? I mean, is there a way for people to overcome their own...
I think just to sort of not accept things just so easily, you know, like just to sort of... just to watch the advertisements on TV and just sort of think, you know...
Formulate your own opinion?
Yeah, this is a load of crap, you know. It shouldn't be... you should just be able to think... realise what they're doing to you and still be happy with how you are and what you are and be able to wear what you want. And I mean, how many people wear what the people are wearing on the catwalks anyway?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't be
Or how many
people
half that
afford
stuff.
it?
Yeah. Or how many people, like, I mean, go to the gym because they actually enjoy going to the gym, or do they just go there for the
I've
look?
never been to a gym in my life, so...
Yeah. I mean, I go to a gym, but, like, I mean, I do enjoy exercising, you know? But you know, it's just more people nowadays exercise than, you know, in the 80s, you know.
Oh, well, the 80s were pretty awful anyway, so I'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
No, I was just thinking, I suppose it is possible. We're always, you and I are always talking about the piano and whether or not it's a good film, but that aside, Harvey Keitel has a gut.
He has a what?
A gut. He has
a gut.
You know,
oh, okay. I thought you said a gun.
Paunch.
No, a paunch, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He's not...
Pot belly.
He's not Fabio. And yet
Yeah.
he's famous, he's, you know, everyone thinks he's a great actor.
Yeah.
Well, most people think he's a great
Yeah.
actor.
Actually,
he
that
is,
was
he
one of
is.
those incredible love scenes.
The one on the piano.
In the piano, yeah.
I haven't seen it, but
Oh.
I don't know. I just think that we've got to take responsibility for who we are as individuals and just love who we are, not worrying about what other people say, and just, you know, just be truthful to yourself.
Well,
that's my
yeah,
conclusion.
I don't suppose it can get any deeper than that, but
No.
there you go.
That's
I
from the
don't
Bible.
think we'll really get an answer out to this one, but...
No, but, you know, it's going to happen. People are going to continue to be, you know, getting their facelifts done. I think, you know, if they want to get it done...
But hopefully it doesn't take over Australia like it has in America.
Well, I don't know if it'll ever come to a head that we'll have a war between those with plastic surgery and those without, but...
Okay.
Give me those silicone implants.
Yeah. Can you be held up for your silicons? Here, give me those silicons. No, anyway.
Okay, that's a segment for tonight. Both of you, thanks a lot for being on the show with us
No problem.
in David and Michael's absence.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. And next week we'll be talking about another moral issue, but until then, bye for now, and hang around till after the break.
Hello and welcome to video review for this week. This week has been a week of disappointments for me and my team of myself. So I've called this week, I've subtitled it Fatal Visions. Now if we can get a close-up on the videos I'm reviewing this week, I'm reviewing two videos, one called Liquid Sky, which I've just been told is many good things have been said about, so that's pretty weird, but and another film called Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. That's Liquid Sky there we've got there. Now if we could just pan across to, yep, okay. And that's a Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. It may look like, you know, a bit of Clockwork Orange, but it's not. Anyway, so I guess I'll start with Liquid Sky. Liquid Sky is what I would call, I wrote it down here, a neat encapsulation of the evils that were the 80s. Now it runs for almost 2 hours, and it's an arts film, or at least it's supposed to be an arts film. Now I don't know what that means. Like it's a term that's bandied around quite a lot, like independent music, an arts film. I'll just read you some of the things written on the back, and then I'll tell you what I thought. Acclaimed at film festivals around the world. Berlin, Los Angeles, Belgium, and New Zealand film festivals. Winner of Best Film at the Sydney Film Festival 1983. Winner, Special Jury Prize, Montreal Film Festival 1982. Acclaimed by critics around the world. A mixture of punk rock, science fantasy, and black humor. Full of ideas and innovation, highly commendable. A bizarre tale set against the backdrop of a new wave Manhattan. A macrobiological fantasy stands out as a king of new wave alien. In this case, the extraterrestrials do not live on beer, but on heroin. A black comedy, science fantasy, and mondo cane excursion into the world of today's artsy punk rebels. Liquid Sky, a richly visual experience. I'll read you the last one last, but yeah. So, picking this up from the video shelf, I thought, this could be a good film. Everyone else seems to like it, why shouldn't I? Because it's none of the things it pretends to be. It's not about punk rock. Science fantasy, I don't know, they have an alien spacecraft that's about that big, and they describe it as looking like a dinner plate, and it looks like a dinner plate, so I just didn't know what to think. Black humor, that was probably something I missed. Maybe that's why I don't like it. I didn't find it funny at all. In fact, I found it really boring. 2 hours of mindless drama about aliens on heroin. It doesn't make much sense, this idea of aliens on heroin, really. It doesn't come across as a comedy, so you don't laugh. Like, you just think aliens on heroin. It doesn't make any sense. It all revolves around a cast of androgynous arts people who hang out and go to clubs and, you know, take drugs and, you know, get raped and all sorts of things that art students cannot do. It follows a couple of young girls around. One who is a model and the other who's a drug dealer, and they live together in a flat. And it's basically, you know, it kind of follows them around. And see, the really cool thing is that the alien spacecraft comes and lands in their flat. Or it's on the roof. It says on the roof, but every time you look at it, it's on a shelf, not on the roof. I really don't quite understand how that can be, but it works. And then it's on the roof. It's on the roof at the end, but they keep showing shots of it on a shelf, so I don't know what that means. And it flies into their apartment and lands there, and they pay no attention to it, like right until the end. They just don't notice it, and they kind of keep walking around and going to raves and discos and stuff. And anyway, the one that's a drug dealer is also a performer. She does this kind of, for me, it was kind of like a really bad Kraftwerk meets Devo, gets killed, dies, and that's it. She just like, I'll give you an example. She kind of has this rhythm, and then she says, I have a little black box, I have a little black box, I have a little black box, I have a little black box. And that's basically her entire work. Now, if that's punk rock, okay, maybe I don't understand guitars, drums, bass, screaming vocals, but for me that wasn't punk rock. That wasn't even music. But still, science fantasy, I suppose, it was quite fantastical. It was quite unbelievable. Black humor, well, yeah, as I said, I didn't really notice anything quite that funny. I mean, I suppose it was funny in going, someone actually spent time and money putting this together. I suppose that's funny. New wave Manhattan, new wave. Now there's an interesting concept. Macrobiological, isn't that to do with people eating more greens and stuff? Anyway, king of new wave alien. In this case, the extraterrestrials do not live on beer but on heroin. Which extraterrestrials do you know, A, and B? My God. Anyway, extraterrestrials do you know, A, and B, how many of them actually live on beer? I don't... I'm sorry, is it something I missed?
E.T. got drunk.
He got drunk, but he didn't live on beer.
Yeah,
It made him drunk.
That's true.
M&Ms were better for E.T. Maybe that's what this film needs, more M&Ms. Artsy punk rebels. Well, I don't know if you could call them artsy. They had a lot of fluorescent lights. I noticed that. And they all kind of dressed really badly, but I suppose that was to be expected. It was the 80s. Yeah, a richly visual experience. The really good bits are the bits where the aliens... Well, the alien, I'm not sure if it's alien or aliens. I assume it's just one alien. When he starts sapping the, I don't know, the chemicals out of people's brains and bodies. Like, it's this really good kind of compugen thing where they just have this circle up here in the middle of the screen with, like, colored in bits, and that's it. That's, like, the big experience of, you know, sapping their mind, sapping their brainstem or whatever of these feelings is just this circle that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's it. Anyway, so back to what the film's all about. I'm not really sure. They take drugs and the alien saps their brains. They have sex, and the alien learns to sap their brains of the hormones released during sex. So every time someone has an orgasm, it kills them. It takes the thing and kills them and leaves them dead with like a piece of plastic in the back of their head. The really weird thing is when people remove the plastic from the back of their head, it's got no blood on it. It's like these people have bloodless heads. I don't know if it was something to do with the 80s, but they just have no blood in their head. And they just pull this piece of plastic that's about that long out of their head, and there's no blood. So pretty weird. What else didn't I like about it? The fashion of their time is to look like David Bowie, i.e. be androgynous and kind of walk around going, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl, I'm not a girl, I'm a boy, whatever. They go around taunting each other, you know, come on, fuck me, come on, I dare you, like, yes, okay, sure I will. Alright, fine. Liquid Sky, it attempts to be experimental. Maybe it was in the 80s, but that was the 80s, and it's a time we should all leave behind us. It's kind of like for me, after actually bothering to sit through it, I promise I only fast forwarded a couple of scenes. Maybe they were the good ones, I don't know. I tried to watch most of it. Oh no, I saw one good scene. They had a really good shot of the horizon about halfway through. So if you're watching it, look for that. Yeah, for me it was like a couple of mass comm students sitting around getting really drunk, and at the end of getting really drunk they think, aliens on heroin, what a good idea. Anyway, the other film I'm attempting to review this week is A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. Now this is taken from the book by James Joyce. Now, most people haven't read the book by James Joyce. Whether that's good or bad is beside the point. It's a good book, but it's another example of books being translated into films and not succeeding. It's like the director has this desire to translate James Joyce kind of, you know, I don't know, the enigma that he raises with his writing, you know, the kind of the imagery and the subtext that he places in his writing, and just misses it all. And what they're left with is the drama, is the story to which he sets his enigma. And I've seen this in several. I saw The Dead, which is one of the short stories out of the Dubliners, and it was a lot like this. People, I mean, okay, admittedly, it's very difficult to sum up what James Joyce is saying in all, you know, all of his books. Like, you know, I mean, I can never imagine someone trying to do the Odyssey, for instance, but why do something when you're going to fail? I know it looks like a really enticing cover, naked breasts, and you know, nice-looking young man with glasses. It's very nice. Actually, it's got John Gielgud. Did I say that right? John Gielgud, who's supposed to be a good actor, but there you go. We all make mistakes, I guess. It's basically set kind of the 1800s. I'm not quite sure. Basically, a time of dissent in Ireland. Well, always has been really. Uprising and so forth and so on. And it kind of, well, basically, as it points out, shows the young man's life growing up with a Catholic church, and his first sexual encounters and the guilt that brings him, and so on and so forth. His first ideas of, you know, how to put thought into word and how to translate you know, word into matter, and so on and so forth. And there's some really good artsy scenes where he wanders through the rain, you know, questioning the universe and all things, and his drunken companions stumbling alongside him. It's really good, and you know, I mean, for those few moments, I suppose I did enjoy the film. There was a good shot on the beach where well, see, the priests want him to become a priest like them, you know, with the big hierarchy thing going on, and, you know, he's not sure whether he should do it, and his mother wants him to do it. It's a big Catholic versus Protestant versus be yourself and do what you want and pay no attention to organized religion, and in the end he does the third option, obviously. It's supposed to be semi-autobiographical. Yeah, I guess it is, according to James Joyce. It's kind of what his life would have been like growing up with, you know, in Ireland with the entire spectre of, you know, the Catholic Church and, you know, the Catholic lifestyle hanging over his head. I don't know. I'm not sure if he was quite the I'm far out kind of guy that Stephen Daedalus is in the film, but sorry, that's a hero. I suppose I missed that entire thing. Anyway, yeah, the young artist chooses a lonely exile in his search for freedom and truth. And at the end of the film, that's what he does. He kind of gets on a boat and goes to France. And I'm sitting there in the final shots, an hour and a half later, after the film started, an hour and a half, thinking, where is the to be continued sign? Where is the you know, where is this plot leading? It's just a story, and it just doesn't seem to have any deeper meaning. So it was very disappointing in that respect. It's not a bad film. Compared to Liquid Sky, it's a good film. Compared to Liquid Sky, I'd say get this one out every time. But getting this out compared to something else, well, no, I'd try something else, obviously. I don't know. I was done by a guy called Joseph Strick, and I don't know what Joseph was thinking about when he was doing it. Stop laughing, it's true. Like, he's sitting there, and he's thinking, oh yeah, James Joyce, this guy's fantastic, you know, I should share James Joyce with people. The way to share James Joyce with people is to go read James Joyce. Because I just don't think, I mean, to be honest, I don't think anyone ever could do a satisfactory job on a James Joyce book and have it come out like a James Joyce thing. It says, perfect, it sings with a Joycean spirit. This is a film of which James Joyce himself could be proud of, an outstanding achievement. I don't think so. I think James Joyce would have laughed and said, no, this is not mine. This is nowhere near what I was trying to say. But anyway, that's really it for this week. Next week I was thinking of reviewing a whole spectrum of ideas about what not to get when next time you're in a video store. It came to me after watching these two, and I thought, what I'll do is I'll go to the video store, I'll walk around, and I'll see what's wrong with the video store and the reasons I don't pick up certain video cassettes and so on and so forth, and I'll try and compile a list of things not to get and why not to get them. Okay? So that's video review for this week. Stay tuned.
How are you? Welcome to another edition of the Sports Show. With me tonight is Luke Rex.
How are you, Michael?
Big hand for Luke there.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Keith unfortunately can't be with us tonight, so Luke's here instead, and we'll begin the show. First off with boxing.
Yeah, mate.
Last week, Mike Tyson and Peter McNeely fought in Las Vegas.
What do you reckon about
on
that, mate?
Sunday, and the fight actually went for only 89 seconds, and Mike Tyson got in the ring, and Peter McNeely charged at him in 7 seconds. He got knocked down, and then
What a classic.
after
I didn't see the fight, but I just knew Tyson would win.
go on.
I was just going to say, it was just, Tyson was paid 30-something million.
34 million
34.
actually. Yeah.
And McNeely was promised 750,000. And the fight was stopped after 98 seconds with the trainer coming out saying, stop, stop, stop.
Well, actually, after Peter McNeely got knocked down, then he got back up, and then Mike Tyson knocked him down again, and then after that, his trainer sort of jumped in and said that was enough, and he chucked in the towel. And I think it's a disgrace, and it could have been a setup, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Like,
Don King was the promoter, wasn't he?
Yeah,
So
he
it
was
a
the
setup.
promoter, and I think, there was about 16 or 17,000 people watching the fight ringside,
$200 a ticket
and
for some
they were
of them,
paying like
up to 2,000.
some were paying just a lot of amount of like 2,000,
Yeah,
1,500 bucks. I mean, anyone was there. Superstars of film and everything. You
How
know,
disappointing was it?
and
2-minute fight.
oh, not even
Not
that.
even that.
And I mean, I think it's to get paid 34 million bucks and to have people around the world watching it on Sky Channel and TV and paying 65 bucks in America is just a rip-off. I didn't go because I knew it was going to be pretty fast, and then I actually watched I watched it on the 9 News clip, on the 10 News clip, and then watched it on the sports on pay TV, and I saw the whole fight for nothing. And I actually knew people that went down, took a day off work and lost 120 bucks for nothing. So I mean, there you go, and I think it's a big farce. And
I heard that Mike Tyson said he really didn't want to have anything to do with Don King.
Yeah.
He said it was just a fight that he needed to fight because, just out of prison and so on.
yeah.
But he says he doesn't want to have anything to do with him from now on.
Well,
I don't think,
I reckon he's sort of a bit of a con artist.
Well, he said he's gone to Muslim. You about that?
Yeah, I actually have, and let's hope they investigate it and hold the trainer's money back. Actually, it doesn't look like he'll be getting paid, and I think.
Do you think Tyson will fight again?
Yeah, he'll fight again certainly, and he'll get other big paydays. But I mean, if you can get it, I mean, if there's got to be rich people, there's got to be poor people, and that's how it is, and that's how it is, and
So the footy tonight, another subject we want to talk about.
Brisbane and Auckland are playing in Brisbane.
Yeah,
and
I think Cronulla and Newcastle are playing tonight, right?
Yeah. I think Cronulla have gone quite well this year, and they're in the top 8, and
they're coming fourth.
And it'll be good if they can win, but I don't think they're actually going to get in the grand final because they haven't got in the grand final for like ages. I think since '73 they're against Manly.
Whether or not they win or not, they've consolidated their position. Newcastle pretty much need to win this. I mean, they'll be in the 8 anyway. The only team that might drop out of the 8 and change it, North and Auckland.
Yeah.
The other game.
Yeah.
Who do you tip?
Out of
Newcastle, Cronulla. I'm going to go the night. I think Cronulla will lose this weekend.
I'll go for Cronulla. I'll go against you. Yeah, and Brisbane and Auckland.
Well, that's a major match this weekend because if Brisbane, if Auckland win, then they've consolidated their position in the 8, and they're definitely in.
They have to win, otherwise
they're on 24
win.
points, and Norths are on 23. And if Norths beat the Gold Coast, which they will do,
which they will
go to 25. Yeah. So Auckland have to win this match to stay in the 8, and I hope they don't because I want Norths to get in the 8.
I don't think they will, and
Brisbane will win that, and Norths
Brisbane will win that, and I think Norths will beat the Gold Coast. And actually, 3 of their players have been injured, and they've actually put him in a decompression chamber, and that's to make sure, because they don't want to lose, because if they lose, there's no second chances for them. And, so I think they'll win. And actually, this week's round is the 22nd round.
Final round,
and it is the final round. So if your team, like last week, Parramatta and Balmain played, and Parramatta actually did get beat 16 to 26, I think the final scoreline was.
Thanks for that, mate.
There was 7,000 crowd over there, and they didn't play too
But Parramatta have signed up some very good players. Gary Freeman, I believe, is going to be.
I was actually talking to him a while back.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. just to mention it.
Yeah. But they're signing up some good players.
Yeah.
Because the Super League's coming in. And, you know, ARL have just had it, mate. And they've got 2 new competitions, the Terry Lamb Shield and the Malmaninga Cup, which you've mentioned before.
And 19s
16s,
19s and 17s, I think, for the
that'd be
cup,
good.
That'll be good for the up-and-comers.
But I'm looking forward to the Super League. That should be great.
We'll see what happens, and we'll give you updates as it happens.
Did you watch the Union match?
Oh yeah, on Wednesday.
Campos World 15.
On Wednesday, I went out to the Sydney Football Stadium. I said I wasn't last week, but I changed my mind because I got a couple of free tickets. And,
did you enjoy the match? It was a very high score.
I did actually. The final score line was 111 to 79. The world,
it's like an AFL score.
Campese's World 15 and the Australian Barbarians played. Kick-off was at 7:45. I just want to point out that the traffic was a disgrace.
Was it?
I mean, it was
how many people there? 20,000.
20,089. Yeah. But I mean, I was at Central at just after 7. I got the buses were waiting out in front of Eddie Avenue, and it took me almost an hour to get from Central to the stadium.
That's a disgrace.
It was just like a disgrace, you know. I missed
absolute disgrace.
Sort of a match and that.
that is a shocker, mate.
I mean, that is like.
Why didn't you run?
Well, I was actually going to walk, but we were sort of halfway there, and I said, you know, I'll just wait on the bus.
That's a shocker. So
well,
I mean, 111 to what?
79. They actually changed the rules around, like they couldn't
kick
in general. No, they couldn't kick in sort of general play unless they really needed to, because Campese, he doesn't like a lot of kicking, and he's been going on about this and that.
Yeah.
So when in the scrum, you couldn't like attack an opposing player in that, like when he had the ball. So they changed that around, and then the players sort of just went flat out for the whole game, and it was quite entertaining in the first and second half, and Campese just like sort of stole the match, and John Lomu, he done some
that
brilliant
guy's
things.
a freak. He's a freak.
Yeah, he'll be a star in years to come.
He's already.
It was an entertaining match, but near the end of the match, it sort of got a bit boring because there were so many tries.
You know, and when's the next one going to happen?
Yeah, and it was like every minute there was a try.
I hear they're going to change one of the rules for the Union, whereby if you kick when you're inside, I think you're from halfway, and you kick into your opponent's half, into their 22, and get touch, that's your feet of the scrum. Actually, and that was for league, sorry. They were going to do that, which would, because you know how a lot of wingers, you know, if the ball's going to touch, they just let it go into touch. Well, this would prevent that, there'd be more running in the game. What do you think about that?
I think, you know, if the rules are better for the game and all that sort of thing, I mean, test it out and see if it works out and all that, then...
that sounds good.
Have you got anything else on the subject?
No, mate.
No.
That was, spoke a bit about that.
All right, going on to netball now. We're gonna keep the women's.
Keep your women out there happy.
I mean, you know, it's not fair that all these.
Jamaica beat
Australia
Iceland 34 to 29. Did you hear about that?
Oh no, I didn't actually. So that's something new. Hey, but see, I don't want to.
Oh, just kidding, mate. No.
On Monday, they've got a big ticker parade for the world champion netball team. Australia beat Jamaica in the World Series over in England, in Birmingham, and I think this is really good because a lot of women's sports don't get promoted, and like how the cricket players just had a ticker-tick parade and
Yeah, that's good.
football and all the men's sports get...
So are they doing it because they mean it, or are they doing it because
Oh, well, they actually...
they gave it to the other people?
Bob Carr, he wasn't going to have
think there
this
would-
parade and that.
But there was an uproar. The women.
Yeah, a lot of women and that of power rang up. They were actually going to have a tea party in Parliament House, but then all these
Yeah,
women...
let's have some tea in Parliament House.
Yeah,
well done,
it
women.
was going to be a quiet hush-hush affair, and then all these
Yeah.
women and that got on the phone and blasted and said, you know, this is...
We
is
want
not
ticker
fair.
tape.
You know,
Give it to us.
And we actually have won 7 of the 9 World
No,
Championships
but good on them. That's
since
good.
'63, so that's very good. And I think it starts at 12 o'clock on Monday around the town hall. And
Are you going to be there throwing rice?
I don't know. I've actually got to do a bit of work on Monday.
Okay.
So,
All right. Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that.
But I hope it goes well for them, and I hope they keep promoting women's sport
Yep,
and all that.
definitely.
So, if you got anything
On
else
the
to say on
netball,
the
I
subject?
didn't sort of do much
No,
research
all
on the
right,
netball.
no worries.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Going on to there's been recently in the media and that about kids sport and that at schools and that. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Well, can get cricket and all that.
oh no. Well, this is the last segment, by the way, because
Yep.
we're going to hop off and
Okay.
let Erin do his film for him, which I'll be looking forward to because I've anxiously been waiting. And actually, there's been in the media that a lot of kids don't play enough sport in schools and that, and they're trying to get kids to participate in a lot of sports, like over 300 hours and that. And like a lot of parents and that have been saying, oh, kids play too much sports and they shouldn't sort of allow it. And I think it's sort of good, like if it helps the kids, but I don't know. I sort of think kids do play a lot of sport, but they should know about diets and so on and so forth, and why they do all these sports. So that'll sort of help them, and
I think
that'll be good because the up and coming Olympics in the year 2000 going to be in a few years, and they're actually talking about all the testing all the elite players, the young elite players for dope and so on and so forth. And
do you think that, say, a footy player was to have dope marijuana once every month, that would affect his performance on field?
I sort of think it
Let
would.
alone on camera, dude.
Oh, yeah, well, at least we're discussing the...
No, you know what I mean? I think we should talk about this. Just quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I think that
Well-
if a footy player, say, let's say Big Mal.
Sure, Mal, yeah,
No, why don't we talk
whatever.
about Mark Guy, because he actually was arrested.
Or,
this.
yeah. Well, I actually...
I don't think it's going to affect his performance if he
Well-
uses it once a month.
Well, I actually do think it will, because...
Why?
Well, look, I think, like, people in the media, like, kids look up to him and all that, like, I look up to a few movie stars and that, like Clint Eastwood. I really look up to that guy.
I reckon he's had a few spliffs in his time.
You know what I mean?
Hey, all right, mate.
And I wouldn't want to see him down, doing anything bad, because I sort of look up to the guy. And like Mal Meninga, you know, I sort of look up to him.
Mate, I'm telling you,
You know
all
what I
those
mean?
footy players get ripped off their nut.
well.
Not all of them, a lot of them do, mate. I'm telling you now. I think that if they're going to do it in their private time and they dedicate themselves to training and they do this and that, it's okay. But it's not something you should encourage young people to do. Definitely.
I don't think they should.
No.
And have you got anything else to say?
I think we've talked about quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think people at home are pretty sustained after that.
Okay.
Get out of
And
step.
well, we've got to go now.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for having me on the show.
yeah,
mate.
no
It's been a
worries.
pleasure.
Anytime you want to come back or anyone wants to come on, no worries.
Call me.
And
We'll do lunch.
see you next week.
See you later.
or put the skateboards in the back.
All right,
that's your instruction.
I'm going walking.
Right. You see the number there?
I like walking better anyway.
Sydney City Council, Levitt. Thank you.
Isn't that Levitt?
Mate, 3 seconds.
1, 2, 3.
2 seconds. Thank you.
This is the latest bowl the Sunshine Council's built for us here in Queensland, yeah. It's like about 4 to 5 foot.
Mate.
Hey?
Ain't Queensland.
Oh, I'm in Adelaide. Yeah, the Adelaide Council's come good again.
Either.
Isn't this Adelaide? Well, where are we? Sydney. Oh, wow. I'm going to get a plane, man. I'll catch you later.
Check you, dude.
What are you booing me for? I haven't even said anything yet. Wait till I've started speaking, then you can boo. All right. Hello and welcome to Film Forum. Hey!
Get the red carpet out.
Yeah, I haven't been here for 2 weeks. I've had better things to do. I've had much better things to do, so I haven't been here. So I'm here tonight though, unfortunately, and and I've got some really exciting films to review, including Sylvester Stallone in Judge Dredd, one of the most exciting films of the past 5 years. I'll also be talking about Hideaway. Oh, it's good camera work. Hideaway with Jeff Goldblum, and Mad Love with the ever-present Chris O'Donnell, the ever-present and insufferable Chris O'Donnell and Drew Barrymore. But I'll start by talking about Hideaway. Hideaway is adapted from a best-selling novel, which I haven't read, and is directed by Brett Leonard, whose last film was The Lawnmower Man with Pierce Brosnan and Jeff Fahey. Everyone thought that was a pretty awful film, but I saw it and was quite pleasantly surprised. I thought it was a well-made, slick and quite exciting horror thriller. So Brett Leonard's name on the credits of this one got me not exactly excited, but made me think that maybe this would be an okay film as well. Reasons for seeing this one for me were Jeff Goldblum, of whom I'm a big fan, star of films like The Fly and The Right Stuff, lots of other good films, and Alicia Silverstone. She's about 16 and she's kind of... There's a picture of her here in Dolly magazine, actually. Now look at that. Doesn't that get your blood pumping? She looks a bit young, but there's always 5 years from now. So she's in it as well. She was in a really, really funny film called The Crush, which came to video a couple of years ago, and I found her to be quite an appealing young actress. And she's being touted as the next Drew Barrymore, which is pretty exciting. So she was a big factor in going to see Hideaway, as well as the fact that it was a horror-slasher film, which I'm quite partial to sometimes. The plot involves a guy, played by Jeff Goldblum, who is in a car crash and he gets killed, and he's dead, and he goes back to the hospital and they bring him back to life. But what happens is, when he they brought him back to life, and what happens is, when he comes back, he has these visions of him he's seen through the eyes of this guy that's out ritually killing women in awful ways. So Jeff has kind of come back from the dead with a connection to this sadistic serial killer. And while looking through this guy's eyes, Jeff realises that he's actually after his daughter, played by the luscious Alicia Silverstone. So, of course, as you would, Jeff gets pretty angry and decides to track down this killer and try and, put him out of his misery. And this is where the film the first half of the film is very tight and very exciting, and it maintains the excitement right through to the end, but the script kind of has a few problems in really clearing up what's going on. Though the plot sounds simple enough and easy enough to follow, Things get lost, reasons why he's tapped into this serial killer, who the serial killer is, why he's doing the things he's doing. So while it's quite an exciting roller coaster ride, and you do have a lot of empathy for the characters, mainly because of the actors playing them, they do a very good job. You don't really know what's going on about 3/4 of the way through the film, which was a bit of a problem for me, but didn't totally detract from my enjoyment of the film. So out of $11.50, I'd give this one an 8, I think. It's quite a good film, worth seeing if you're into this sort of thing. Going from the next Drew Barrymore to the actual Drew Barrymore, I'll talk about Mad Love, which is the latest film from director Antonia Bird, a British director whose last film was Priest, which I thought was an absolute classic, a flawless piece of cinema and something that everyone should see. It was just fantastic. So I was really excited about going to see Mad Love, which is Antonia Bird's first film in America. She's actually a British director. So there are a few worries about what America, Hollywood, and in particular the Disney Corporation would do to Antonia Bird's vision as a director. And of course I wasn't disappointed. They've completely flattened all her sharp edges and power as a director by kind of making this film into just a slick, commercialised sort of thing aimed at the kids. As soon as it starts and you see Chris O'Donnell in his flannelette shirt and cut-off combat shorts listening to some grungy band and stuff, you know that the producers have said, look, the kids love it, we'll put in some grunge, we'll set it in Seattle, the kids will love it, they'll go wild. Well, I don't think the kids have gone wild over this film because it hasn't been that big a hit in America. But apart from these obvious kind of efforts to grab the teenage audience through rather superficial means, the film remains quite interesting and quite enjoyable. It's the story of a young guy played by Chris O'Donnell, who for some reason is in just about every film on at the moment, and which is really bad for me because ever since I saw Chris O'Donnell in Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino giving one of the most hysterically ham-bone performances ever, and Chris O'Donnell as his awful, horrible sidekick, and then I saw him in The Three Musketeers, which without a doubt is one of the worst films ever made, and he was just so bad in that. And everything Chris O'Donnell is in, he's just a pit, you know. And I thought he was okay in Circle of Friends, but he's back to his old normal irritating self in this one. He's just, oh, he's the pits. Well, he plays this guy and he meets this girl played by Drew Barrymore, and you know, they have a bit of a fling and they start to have a very deep and passionate love for each other, and then unfortunately for him, he realizes that she's some kind of fruitcake. She's a manic depressive something or other, and she has to be hospitalised, and she's trying to kill herself and all this sort of stuff. So you've got this really normal, straight up guy played by Chris O'Donnell who's kind of struggling with what to do with this crazy girl. The film is not bad. I think the initial script was probably quite good, and I could sense here that they were trying to do something a bit radical and a bit daring, but I think Disney have really flattened things out, and that's quite unfortunate to see, because I think Antonia Bird may have been able to do something really special with this film, principally if she hadn't cast Chris O'Donnell, who just makes the whole thing null and void, because Drew Barrymore gives a really, really good performance, probably the best performance of her career, I'd say, apart from her brilliant portrayal of Amy Fisher in Lethal Lolita, which I think was the high point of Drew's career. But she is very good in this, and if you're a fan of Drew Barrymore, I'm sure you'll probably have gone to see this film already, so you know there's no point in recommending it, but it is quite good, not great, worth seeing if you're a fan of either Chris or Drew. And out of $11.50, I'd give this film probably about the same as Hideaway. I think I'd give this maybe a little bit more, $8.50. Well worth seeing if you know, blah blah blah. Finally tonight, Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone, one of the worst actors ever in the history of the world. He's so bad, Sylvester Stallone. If you've seen The Specialist with Sharon Stone, which was one of the most hilarious films I've seen in years, and it was all unintentional laughter, of course, but I found it very funny. They made probably the unsexiest and most unbelievable screen couple for ages. So every time Stallone comes out in a new film, I run along eagerly to see it, hoping that it will meet the brilliance of The Specialist. So I went along to see Judge Dredd, which is the second film of a young British director called Danny Cannon, whose first film, The Young Americans, was, in my opinion, a really good film, and particularly for a debut effort, very impressive. So I was pretty excited about having a look at how Danny Cannon would go with a really big budget under his belt and a lot of money and a lot of special effects. And unfortunately, The Young Americans is a much more superior film than this one. It's based on a British comic book called Judge Dredd, which is set many years in the future. The city's been scorched by something and it's all a big desert, and there's only 3 mega cities, and these are just enormous cities with millions and millions of people living in them. All law and order is broken down. The people are running wild in the streets in a Mad Max, Blade Runner kind of fashion, and all law has reverted to the judges, and these are guys and girls that ride around on big motorbikes and have the power of judge, jury and executioner. So they run around, they not only arrest people but pass judgment on them and then carry out the either conviction or execution or whatever. And Sylvester Stallone, of course, is Judge Dredd, the biggest, scariest, meanest judge of them all, and he kind of runs around randomly executing people for nothing, which is pretty funny. And the plot, if you could call it a plot, revolves around his sworn enemy Rico, played by Amanda Sante, a very good actor usually, who conspires to frame Judge Dredd for the murder of a TV reporter. And while Judge Dredd is sent to prison, Rico sets about taking over Megacity with the help of another crooked judge played by Jürgen Prochnow. Also in the plot are things like cloning and robots and all this sort of stuff. And basically every single thing in this film is something you've seen before. This is extremely derivative in every way, ripping off all the good science fiction films, even going as far back as Star Wars, ripping off a lot of things from Star Wars and the subsequent 2 sequels. Also, another film it rips off almost just shamelessly is Blade Runner. The set design, the look of the city, everything, even the idea of the plot is very similar to Blade Runner. Also rips off RoboCop in a big way. What else does it rip off? Rips off the Terminator.
Is it much like the comic?
No, it's nothing like the comic. I thought the comic is sort of filled with really dark black humour and really interesting, on the edge kind of humour, whereas this film is just really straight up tedious kind of Hollywood humour, which is okay sometimes, but just doesn't work in this respect. Just awful stuff. For instance, Judge Dredd is given this just insufferable sidekick. Obviously, the guy must be some sort of stand-up comedian who's not funny at all. So Judge Dredd's got this stupid sidekick, and the whole film's just garbage. I thought it was boring, and it just had nothing going for it. A few good special effects, but the action scenes, dull, boring, derivative, nothing new. The plot, nothing exciting, and one of the things that really got me about this film was just the obviousness and the real lack of effort that's gone into the casting. All the villains are played by people that just play villains all the time. Amanda Sante, when he's given a good script and a good character, he can be an extremely good actor. If you've seen The Mambo Kings or Q&A, you'll understand this. But when he's just given a kind of over-the-top villain, he really just takes it to town, goes way over the top, and is just really tedious. Joan Chen, in a typical role for her. It's just derivative and unimaginative and unoriginal in every sense, and so therefore goes down as a good one in Sly's repertoire. Nowhere near as good as The Specialist, but yeah, Judge Dredd, very disappointing for me. I was bitterly disappointed with this one, and pretty angry actually. So out of $11.50, I'm going to give this film $1 for $1 for Diane Lane, who has a rather small supporting role. And I'm a big fan of hers, but she's really bad in it as well. But I'll give it $1 anyway. I hope Danny Cannon's next film is up to the standard of his first and not equal to this, which is really quite awful. That's all I've got time for this week. I'll be back next week talking about, I think, Apollo 13, the new film from Tom Hanks and director Ron Howard, and SFW, which is the latest film about the media and the evils that it creates, which stars Stephen Dorff. So I'll see you next week.
And that was the Wisdom Chambers Youth Review for this week.
Yep.
And next week, what have we got, Luke?
Next week, Film Forum with Erin, as he just told us. The sports show, Michael, so I was going to say Michael will be back, but Keith will be back with Michael doing the sports show.
Yeah.
Under the Microscope, myself, Dave, and Michael Castleman should be back for that as well.
Right.
Video review with Don, yourself.
Yeah, I will
talked
do.
about that. Town Talk, Scott and Dave. Scott will be back from Bathurst next week. Monique will be back as well next week with Square Flesh.
What's Square Flesh?
Square Flesh. I'm not too sure exactly, but it's
Sounds
very
fairly
it's
lewd.
interesting. She's done it a couple of times before.
Really? Almost.
But
right,
yeah,
okay, no.
she talks about fashion and things like that. Yeah.
Cool.
And Mark will be back as well. The whole family will be back next week.
Yeah.
And Darren and Borgie doing
Like,
Westie's
doing
Lifestyle
Westie's Li-
and
so-
Couch Potato as well. So we'll have a full show next week.
Very full show next week, then.
So stay tuned for that.
All right.
And we have to read
The
for you
credits.
at home.
The credits for this week.
credits.
So this
Stay
is
tuned.
who we were this week. The presenters were Don Sillence, that's me. Luke Rex, that's your last
me.
name. Michael Wiesma. All right, Wiesma. Erin Free. Guests Vanessa Grace. Makeup was done by Shalandra Ella. Is that right?
Thanks, Shalandra.
Okay. Cameras Anna Hazelwood and George Mikovic. All right, cool. Floor manager Victoria Grace. Audio Susie Fenton. Tape operator Katrina Livingstone. Vision mixer Leon Gross. Sorry, Leon. Assistant producer Isabel Williams. And producer director Zara Williams.
Zara back this week, yeah.
Copyright, yeah, Zara back this week from her trip down under
Tassie?
to Tassie, yeah. Copyright 1995
CTV1. So don't copy this show.
Yeah, what was it? What was it? Youth show. CTV1 Youth show, copyright 1995. There you go.
Okay, just before we go, we're going to, short show tonight. We want to leave our viewers at home with this message.
For this Odyssey message.
Quest. Challenge the possibilities with spirit and passion, and you will come to a place where reality is an illusion and truth is the dream. Reach beyond the corners of your mind and you will capture it.
There you go. So something for everyone out there in TV land. That was the second Odyssey, Jeans. message to the people.
Trippy people.
Yeah, they are pretty interesting, aren't they?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yes, and don't forget South
mentioned
Sydney
that,
Festival.
Yeah, Sunday. Get there before 10:30. Free coffee and cake.
All right.
Do it.
All right. Well, we'll see you
Don,
next.
thanks, mate.
That's all right, Luke. And we'll see you next week on the Wisdom Chambers Youth Review.
Woo!
Have a good week.
People being happy. Smell the air. Make love to a tree. Why don't you and me sing about CTV? CTV, CTV, everybody. CTV, 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 CTV. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll learn a lot. Your friends will be really impressed. With a dedicated crew who know their work, you can be sure this service is the best. It's the best, the best. It's just the best, man. Meaningless lyrics, a touch of corn. I don't know. He don't know. C is for cool, P is for trendy, B is for cool and trendy. C is for cool, T is for trendy, be very cool and trendy. Make it cool and trendy, man. Wow. The famous and the not so famous have all been guests on our show. Up-to-date information, so you can be sure you'll be in the know. Once again, the time has come to mention the name of our station. CTV. CTV. It makes me very happy, man, so happy. Happy. It makes me so happy. Happy, joyous, happy, joyous, happy, joyous, happy, joyous. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, happy, happy, joy, 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 joy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, joy, joyous and happy. It's all joyous and happy. So enjoy yourself.
Is the color away African skin. Freedom train is rolling in. Black and white are prisoners, you feel the warning. Freedom train is rolling in. Black is the color away African skin. Freedom train